Good evening. Welcome back to Travels Large. Tonight we're on board the MSC Seashore as we're concluding another cruise. The MSC Seashore is based out of Miami currently and will be repositioning to a new home port later this year. I'm being told that home port is going to be in Orlando, Florida, and the MSC Seashore will be replaced by the MSC Seaside. The MSC Seashore is currently finishing up its itinerary of a stop at San Juan, Puerto Rico, St. Thomas Virgin Islands, Dominican Republic, which the port was Puerto Plata, and then tonight we are at their private premier island of Ocean Cay. Tonight I wanted to take the opportunity and share some things with you that may be helpful on your next MSC cruise. Tonight we're going to talk about what's good, what could use some improvement, and what's going to help you on your next cruise. First, I'd like to start with the embarkation process in Miami. Now this I can't always attest to or it being MSC's fault. However, it was something that I think can use significant improvement. It took over 2 hours from the time we got to the pier to the time we got on board the cruise ship. I'm being told that there was a hang-up with customs, that they didn't receive clearance in the port till 11:30. My official boarding time was 11 a.m. However, we took a flight down from Boston into Fort Lauderdale and then got on a train which got us to Miami at 11 o'clock. So that put us behind schedule, which thankfully that actually worked to our benefit, because when we got to the cruise pier, we were in a line that started at a whole different ship than the ship we were getting on. And we were outside in the Florida sun, and I saw some people fall. I saw there was things that could have gone way better there. And I'm not for sure who's to blame, but one thing I could say, the security there definitely was kind of a problem. Something I think they could have improved on is getting people through line. Now, if it is a customs thing, I think that needs to be improved upon, and there needs to be a better disembarkation process so the new clients can get on board and enjoy their vacation as well. So from that point, we got on board, went up to the buffet as I normally always do, and had a bite to eat. This is when I started to notice there are 2 dining options that are complimentary on this ship. The main dining room, which you were assigned to, in my case it was Central Park, or the buffet on board. I would have to say the buffet on board is fairly good size. It's pretty much the entire deck 16, which right now you can probably hear above me because my room is on deck 15. Now, kind of going forward, the main dining room, the first night, is when we noticed things were kind of a little different. On most American cruises, such as Royal Caribbean, Princess, Norwegian, all of those I hear, dinner usually is about an hour, hour and a half ordeal. On here, you're probably looking more towards 2 hours to 2.5 hours for your dinner. There's usually 30 minutes in between. We were at the 7:15 dining. We would schedule a 9 o'clock show reservation. There was a couple times we did not make that reservation due to the dining. We were still getting through our main course at 9 o'clock at night. If you have the chance, you may want to adjust your schedule accordingly to match that. Now, the dining staff themselves, I would say they're pretty reasonable, and they work hard. I'm not for sure where the breakdown is. Compared to my last MSC cruise, I would say the food is significantly better on this ship than it was on that ship. There's red meats, there's anything pretty much that you see on many of the main cruise lines, you can find here as well. The main dining room, I've been asked before in videos, is it cold in that dining room? It is actually not, it's hot. There was many of us complaining about the temperature while we were on board. The main dining room serves breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And those seatings, dinner is assigned table, breakfast and lunch is first come, first serve. So in the buffet, they serve breakfast, lunch, and dinner. A little more flexible. I don't think their hours are that late, unfortunately. I had a beverage package on board, and as I've mentioned in the past, there are 3 different beverage packages. There's the Easy Plus, and then I believe it's an Easy or a premium beverage package. So your Easy covers drinks up to $7 and Heineken. Your drink package that is the Easy Plus covers drinks up to $9, and then the premium covers up to, I believe it's $15, which that'll get you anything you want on board for the most part. So that's one thing to keep in mind when you're booking this cruise. And in the past, when I booked a cruise, they had a promotion where you get free drinks. Well, that only covers the easy package. That doesn't include anything above that package. The bar staff, I would have to say, is phenomenal. I've had great luck. There's a bar in the aft of the ship on deck 8. It is the infinity bar with the adults only infinity pool. I believe his name is Janoy. He is a great guy. If you see him on board, you want him to be your bartender. He makes the best drinks. He's always the most friendly, and he goes above and beyond to make sure his guests are having a great time. So that is one thing definitely I say is great, is honestly all the bar staff on this ship have been great to work with. On board the MSC Seashore, I had a balcony room on the 15th deck. This balcony room had plenty of room on the balcony for you and a friend. It came with a little table. That way you could sit out there and enjoy the sunrise or the sunset or just the ocean in general. This balcony room had plenty of room for everybody. Could sleep up to 3 people. There's 2 twin beds, and the couch becomes a full-size, I believe it's a double bed if it's extended. In the room, the one thing that is a little tight is the shower area. I'm 6'2", obviously well fed, and that shower does get a little tight, but it is doable. Another thing that you find really nice in the room is they do have a wireless phone charger. One thing that always is important to me, is it compatible with Apple products? And to answer that question, yes it is. So on board you have the ability to not have to plug your phone in, you just lay your phone on that little dot that I'm showing you right now, and that will charge your phone during the course of your cruise. Also, one thing I wanted to make you aware of, in the balcony rooms at least, I was not in any of the yacht club rooms, the interior rooms, or the ocean view rooms, but in the balcony rooms, I would say the bed is harder than what I am used to. So if you are somebody who has some back problems, you might want to keep that in consideration and possibly bring a back support pillow with you on board this cruise. That's one thing that's going to make your cruise a little easier for you. A struggle ever since we've been on board is to keep washcloths and toilet paper in our room. It's gotten to the point every time I walk past the housekeeping cart, I grab a couple washcloths and a roll of toilet paper just to play it safe. I don't know if this is something they're working on improving. I've been told that they are short-staffed on the ship. One thing that we've used on this cruise, my girlfriend is with me. She's currently a grad student and working towards her master's degree, so she had to have Wi-Fi access. The Wi-Fi on board, the upload speeds is about 2 megabytes a second, and your download speeds is about 4 megabytes a second. So if you plan on watching your favorite Netflix show in 4K, probably not going to happen. Now, as we move forward, I'd like to talk a little bit about entertainment. Entertainment on this ship is better than the last ship I was on, but it's still not where it should be. In tonight's show, we went to a show called Coast to Coast. There's a piano duo, the Revolution Duo, I believe is their name. They perform down at the Times Square area. They put on a great show, I think. Those 2 dueling pianos, great music the entire night through. One thing I always enjoy on a cruise is a good pool. On board, there are 3 pool areas that you can use. The first is for adults only, which is 18 or over, is the infinity pool, which is on deck 8 on the aft portion of the ship. The infinity pool also has the infinity bar, which has my favorite bartender. He is always working hard back there and will take care of you and your friends on your next cruise. The jungle pool is another option. It's an indoor pool, which has a retractable roof. That way that opens and closes based on what they decide. At one point during this cruise, they did have it open, which lets some of the humidity out during the cruise. The main pool is the Long Island pool, not a very large pool. It doesn't compare to the Meraviglia, which they have a double pool side by side. This is just a single pool, but it is on the topmost deck. One thing that we noticed during the cruise, unfortunately, and I'm not for sure what the problem here is, but there was soot that can be found in the mornings on the pool deck. So hopefully that is something they're remedying. One thing I really like on this ship is the water park. There's Pirates Cove Water Park. It has 4 slides, which even I rode as a big guy. I enjoyed those. They were a great time. The MSC Seashore is a massive ship. This fits about 5,700 people at full capacity, which on this sailing, it was at that full capacity, which is nice to see that we're getting back into the cruise environment coming out of the COVID-19 pandemic. That is one thing that I'm excited for. So everybody, please wash your hands, stay clean, take care of yourselves. One thing I would have to say they did really well on this ship is the cleanliness. It is only about a 9-month-old ship, but everywhere on board is clean. There's a lot of shiny surfaces, you don't see a lot of fingerprints, and throughout the ship, it just looks clean and well kept. That is one thing I would have to give the crew a lot of props on. The excursions today, on the private island, we did the lighthouse tour. On that tour, we had a wonderful tour guide who told us about the islands, what's been going on, a little bit about herself. So if you happen to see her while she's here, definitely say hi as well from Travels Large. The MSC Seashore is a gorgeous ship. I am currently finishing up my 15th cruise that I've ever been on, and this is the nicest ship that I have ever been on. Who this cruise might be for? On board, I definitely see a lot of families. There is several European families on board. Being a European-based cruise line out of Italy, the announcements are all done in English, Italian, then Spanish, and they finish with German. So every time there's an announcement, they take longer than normal. So I don't know if that's something that's going to change in the future for the American market. I know coming up here very soon, within the next 6 months, their plan is to have 5 cruise ships in the US market. The MSC side, the MSC Shore, the MSC Divina, I'm going to butcher this, but the Mergaviglia, and then there's one more ship that I don't think has been announced yet. All sailing out of Miami, Port Canaveral, and New York City. They're going to be sailing out of the Bronx. They're going to be doing Canadian cruises and Bermuda cruises. So that's one thing to kind of look forward to and one thing to look out for. Now, as far as, and my opener, is this cruise worth the money? That all depends on where your personal priorities lie. If you're looking for a cruise that you can save some good money, because I think this one was starting out at $199 for an interior room per person. If you want to save money, great. The food's great. I would say that's been a big improvement over my last MSC cruise is the food. The entertainment leaves something to be desired. The daily activities, there's not, in my opinion, a lot there. Their ports of call have been great, I would say that. So families have enjoyed that. There's a lot of couples. You see couples between 30 years old all the way up to probably their 60s. So it's a fairly diverse crowd on board, which is one thing that is nice. Kind of get to know people from all over the world just by sailing on one cruise ship. And then tonight, at last, I would like to thank everyone who has watched my videos. If you found this video helpful, please feel free to subscribe. And also, if you would like, leave a comment below on what you think about MSC. If you've been on a cruise, I would love to hear about it down in the comments below. So please feel free to share that with me and with everybody who's watching. And always, I appreciate every one of you, and thank you once again. So, in a small world, travels large. Good night.